And hello, welcome back to LTC Heroes. My name is Peter Murphy Lewis. I'm the host. Today, I am in Georgia Healthcare Association, the Winter Convention, and I just heard a really inspiring keynote speech by Pastor Rodger. So I asked him to come in and join and share it here and just understand, why he was brought in and what was special about long-term care for him. Pastor Rodger, welcome to LTC Heroes.
Thank you very much.
Your story made me cry several times. Can you give a synopsis for those who couldn't be here present, why it was important to you and why you got invited here?
It's actually a healing process for me, dealing with my mother's death and dealing with the restrictions of the COVID issue that we've all been through the last 2 years. And I struggled with that because in my presentation, I mentioned I'll regularly, maybe even daily, ask the question, do I have my mom in the right place? And it actually wasn't until the day after her death that I got a resounding yes, she was in the right place.
You spoke about the staff there and you mentioned some names. Can you tell me what was special about them? Do you have any either memories or words that they told you to make you feel like you were connected in this tough time?
Well, Nicole, the nurse that was in one of the pictures there, she kept regular contact with me, be it texting or a phone call. And what was so funny as time developed is she would actually call me up and ask me if the story she was hearing from my mom, who had dementia, was real or not. And I was, yeah, that one's real. That was a skeleton in the family's closet that I didn't realize was going to come out, but it's real. And so they were having these ongoing conversations day after day. And it actually made me feel good that mom felt comfortable enough. Maybe she had lost those inhibitors because of dementia, and she could finally let those stories out. But the ironic piece was that Nicole started doing the same thing with my mom and sharing stories with my mom that she had not shared with other people. And so the two of them together were actually loving each other through these COVID restrictions. It was awesome.
Amazing story. I teared up a number of times. I'm sure the rest of the long-term care workers in there did. How did Georgia Healthcare Association hear about your story?
This is crazy because I did it one time at National and I told my wife, this is it. I can put this away now because I'm truly a fish out of the water. I have no medical training whatsoever. But I was asked by the Friendship Manor facility there in Roanoke if I would be willing to speak. And I'm thinking in Roanoke. Mm-hmm. Well, before I knew it, it wasn't. It was at the National Convention at National Harbor in D.C. And so I went there, and then as I came home, I said, okay, that's over. The fish is no longer out of water. And then I received an invitation to go to Virginia's national conference, and then Georgia has invited me to come down here to theirs.
That's a unique story how you got here and how we ended up meeting.
Yes.
The words that you offered inside for your keynote of appreciation for the workers, I'm wondering if you had the same appreciation for long-term care before your mom went in, or is it something that you grew to appreciate and you understood?
I had no vested interest in it whatsoever. But once my mom was there, I was 100% into it. And thus that question every day, is she in the right place? But yes, in retrospect, I drove past such facilities every day and never thought about it.
It's a unique type of person who's in long-term care, as you know. Could you, if you were going to, describe the personality of the people who are in long-term care, the people who take care of your mom, how would you describe that to a friend, someone who has no idea about long-term care? There's something special about their DNA.
Yeah, it's a heart that's this big. Mm-hmm. You've got to have that. You've got to care about people. And you've got to care about them beyond the physical needs. Mm-hmm. You've got to connect with them mentally, emotionally, even spiritually. And either you have that compassion in your heart to get to know them on that level, or you don't. It's nothing that you can manufacture or make. Mm-hmm. I have no idea, but I would guess after a year or two, you're either in it or you're out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that rings true. I had my first day of clinicals when I went to become a CNA. the gentleman that I was shadowing, he told me within about 15 minutes, and he walks really fast. He doesn't wait and explain anything. You just got to follow him and learn, and he'll talk out loud and tell you why he's maybe doing something with the resident. He said to me when we had, I remember, I think I walked in the first 30 minutes, I did my first shower at 5:30 in the morning. And he says to me while I was showering, he goes, you know what? I oversee a lot of CNAs that are coming in here, and they always say it's hard. Peter, listen to me right now. He said, it's not hard. If you have a heart and you care about humans, this is going to be easy. It might be tiring. It might be emotionally difficult, but this is the best thing you're ever going to do in your life. Rings true with what you said.
Yes, yes. When I came off that elevator the morning after my mother had died to distribute flowers to the workers on that floor, it was orchestrated, but no one took the lead. They became mournful, tears coming down their cheeks. They came around and gave me hugs. It was heartfelt. It was heartfelt.
You chose one of my favorite songs for your speech. Tell me who you chose and why.
The first one, I am not a remake fan at all, but Disturbed hit that remake on Sound of Silence. And I wanted it because it was kind of a melancholy idea, because what we dealt with the COVID restrictions, it truly was a forced silence upon the world, upon our nation, even to bring it down to home, to Friendship Manor there in Roanoke. And then the second one, Johnny Cash. I've been a Johnny Cash fan all my life. And there he was in that last album, I guess, refreshing or reliving his life, reflecting upon it. And there's a lot of emotion, a lot of pain and hurt that he had to embrace and to get through before he could finish his life.
I have a section of my interviews, and I want to make sure you feel comfortable. It's called Rapid Fire Questions. I can tell that you are a deep, human, vulnerable man, and some of these questions are fun. Can I throw them at you and you say, Peter, pass if you don't like any of them?
Okay.
I think you're going to like this one, because you are
the answers like one-word answers?
You can do whatever you want.
Okay.
But I think
rapid fire.
Yeah. I think you're going to like this one. Pastor Rodger says, if you could have a gigantic billboard anywhere with anything on it, metaphorically speaking, getting a message out to millions or billions of people, what would it say and why?
Jesus is real.
In what ways have you grown over the course of your life?
I've been humbled. I've been humbled a lot.
What is one experience that you thought was really bad and it turned out good?
Wow, experience that was really bad and it turned out good. Actually, there's so many, Peter, and I'll tell you why, because before I was a pastor, I was in law enforcement for 25 years. There was an occasion where I had to go in the house where two children were there and it was on fire, and neither one of them made it. And I carried the scars with that to today. But I think it also helped me cherish my children a lot more, because I remember going home that morning and just picking up my children and holding them tight and appreciating the blessing that they were to me.
Thank you for sharing that. I knew that you would be good at vulnerable questions, because you had me teared up in there. I'll wrap it up with one a little bit lighter question.
Let's move to the light side.
I think you're going to have a good answer for this one. Which celebrity do you think you'd be best friends forever with?
I'm not good on celebrities, because I always ask my wife, who's that person? Who's that person? I could say Peter, the podcaster. A celebrity that I could be friends with for life.
No, that you would be best friends with if you ended up running into each other.
That I could be best friends with them for life. Wow.
You could do historical figure.
Man, I can't. No one's coming to mind. No. A celebrity that I can't come up with any.
Then I'll give you another one. I know you can do this. What's your most strongly held belief?
That life is a blessing and we should cherish it.
Amen. Well, Pastor Rodger, thank you so much. I want to thank our sponsors, Experience Care, for putting on the live stream here at Georgia Healthcare Association, the Winter Convention. I feel blessed that I met you. We've met hundreds of really, really brilliant long-term care workers here. I'm new to it. You're very new to it.
Yes.
But you came to the situation, out of tragedy and trauma, and I feel like we have something in common. Thank you for sharing your story to the group and also here on the podcast.
Thank you for having me. It's been great.
Yep. Look forward to talking to you soon. Thank you all.
Bye-bye.